Can stress cause brain fog? If you're a high performer or a high achiever, then you may have been feeling a little stressed and may have even been having issues with just thinking clearly these days. If that sounds familiar, then you may have even asked yourself that very question. If that's you, you're in the right place. I'm here to answer that question in today's video. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause Chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you which survival mechanism is actually killing your brain and how to stop it. Then I'm going to share with you the most common oversight you're missing when it comes to dealing with your brain fog. And finally, I'll be sharing with you the most effective strategy that traditional medicine won't even mention in order to give you mental clarity, again, once and for all. All right, let's dive on in. Which survival mechanism is actually killing your brain? Let's answer that question. Adrenaline is your survival hormone. When you're dealing with a high amount of stress, or like you're in an argument, somebody's not driving the way that they should be, your body kicks into this flight or fight mode and your body produces more adrenaline. This comes from your adrenal glands, which is kind of your survival gland of the body. They have many other things that they need to be doing. Now, here's the thing. Back in the day when you used to face the saber-toothed tiger, your body would kick you into this flight or fight mechanism and produce adrenaline to help you fight that tiger or hightail it back to safety. And once that event was over, then your body came back out of that flight or fight response and ultimately went back to normal functioning. But in today's world, when you're dealing with constant levels of some stress, whether it's, dealings with the job and what pressures might be there, home life, relationships, financial, you name it, there's a lot of constant stresses that happen in our world now compared to even 50 years ago. The challenge with that becomes is that your body continues to produce the stress hormone, adrenaline, and then also cortisol, another stress hormone, which are actually caustic or just damaging to your nervous system. Part of the long-term effect of that is it starts to impact your mental clarity, your focus, your concentration, your memory. Any cognitive types of functions that your brain is supposed to carry out can be impacted by too much of these stress hormones in your system on a regular basis. Now, before I get into the most common oversight that you're missing, I just want to take a moment and remind you to click that subscribe button down below, turn the notifications on. I am regularly producing content to help you be the true high performer, high achiever that you can be. Everything centered around how you can just reclaim your health, be able to achieve what I like to call total body mastery, so you can live life without limits. So again, click the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and hey, while you're down there, give me a big thumbs up if I'm doing a good job for you. Awesome. Thanks so much. Okay. What is this most common oversight that you're missing? What is it? And it's something that is completely damaging to the overall impact of your brain and how it functions. Let's get into that answer. Ultimately, we have to figure out the source. So we have to trace this brain fog that you're experiencing back to the source of where is it coming from, right? Part of this source that I'm talking about is identifying the actual stress. We've got temporary types of sources of stress, which could be, big work projects or, the upcoming holidays, you name it. Those types of things are really easy to identify. But if you've been dealing with, excess amounts of stress that's kind of continuous and brain fog has been something you've been struggling with, for months now at this point in time, it might be more difficult to really try to identify what started creating this disruption. Now, I'm super curious. Have you ever tried to take a moment and figure out where is this coming from? What changed? If you haven't been dealing with brain fog your whole entire life or just lack of that mental clarity, something changed about your health. When I go through and I work with my patients, I try to figure out when did this seem to occur? And then I look at the events, I look at changes of lifestyle, exercise or lack thereof, what sleep looks like, stress levels at that point in time. What changed prior to this becoming a symptom for you? So I'm curious, have you ever done that before? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, are you ready for the most effective strategy that traditional medicine won't even mention when it comes to trying to have mental clarity again? All right, here it is. Eat for brain health. Yes, traditional medicine rarely touches on what dietary influences have on your brain, but I can tell you from the many different colleagues that I have that specialize in brain health and psychiatry and you name it, diet is a key piece for helping their patients be able to fully resolve this thing of brain fog that we're dealing with. Okay. Now, when I'm working with my patients, not only am I looking at what are they doing from a diet standpoint, but I'm also looking at lifestyle factors, do comprehensive testing to figure out what types of imbalances and deficiencies might be there, underlying infections, inflammation, toxicity, you name it. But I can tell you one thing that is incredibly important with any person that I'm working with, we have to look at what are you putting in for fuel. This is something you do every single day, multiple times in a day, and it is either working to improve your brain health, which ultimately will improve all of your health, or it's working to slowly destroy it. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, like, what in the world does this look like? I'll give you some brief overview, and then I've got a guide for you right down below in the description below this video, okay? So, your brain does not love sugar. Your brain does not love refined carbohydrates. It really doesn't like huge amounts of carbohydrates, which is super unfortunate because if you've grown up in the time frame that I have, this is what we've been conditioned and led to believe. Your body really prefers and your brain really prefers to function off of high levels of good quality fats, those healthy fats like your avocados, your grass-fed butter, coconut oil, avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, your nuts, your seeds. Your body and your brain has to have those. That's like what makes up your whole entire brain is fat. And we've been taught to stay away from fat because fat's bad and it clogs your arteries and it creates all these problems. Bad fats will do that. But the good healthy fats you need to be eating every single time you sit down to have a meal. If you have a hard time figuring out how to get these in, I love what Dave Asprey said about vegetables, and that vegetables are a great vehicle for getting those good healthy fats in. You should be eating a lot of vegetables. I don't think most Americans eat enough vegetables. So your like 3/4 of your plate should be vegetables. The other quarter should be a clean protein source. We want to be eating moderate amounts of clean proteins. And when I mean clean, it means that those animals are being raised the way that God intended them to be raised. They're not being adulterated. They're not being injected with stuff. They're not being fed things that they wouldn't normally eat in nature on their own. Okay, so clean sources of protein, 1/4 of your plate. And then make sure you're taking some of those good fats and putting them on your vegetables to help get those into your system. That, in a nutshell, is what eating for brain health looks like. We're staying away from huge amounts of sugars. We're staying away from all kinds of different grains, especially ones that are grown here in the United States. We're finding there are a lot of detriment because the amount of pesticide and the adulterating that's happened, they attack the nervous system, okay? And then we're also trying to not consume high amounts of fruits because those have lots of natural sugars too. Fruit isn't completely off the table, so don't freak out at me. But we only want to consume maybe a serving a day, if that, okay? Now, if you're sitting there going like, holy cow, Kelly, what does this look like? I don't know what I'm supposed to eat. Don't worry, I have you covered. Go down to the description right below this video. Click on it so it expands. If you scroll down, you'll see you have free access to your Eat Your Way to Better Brain Health meal plan. Now, I've designed this for high performers and high achievers who really probably don't have a whole lot of time to spend in the kitchen. Don't worry, I've got you covered. You're not going to have to cook every single day because honestly, who has time for that? In here, there's a guide for a meal plan that is really easy to implement. It's effective. It helps you actually save time and feeds you and your family the way that the body was designed to be fed, and you will be thriving within the week. The recipes are in there. They're kid tested, mom approved, and your shopping list is also in there too to make it super convenient to either type in your ingredients into Instacart or you've got your list for when you go grocery shopping. So don't miss that link down in the description below. I hope today was super helpful and I look forward to seeing you on a future episode. God bless.